What's going on, everybody? This is John Jake Gaming on the mic here, coming at you with the opening week of season number 2 of the FCS Dynasty here on NCAA 2006, and featuring that next mod as well. And we got 2 games on tap here today as we start the second season of gameplay here, man. So should be a good episode. Hope you guys are excited for it. If you are, get ready to smash that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button if you do have to be brand new as well, on top of hitting that notification bell, as we will jump into the first game of action, the game of the week, which features this unranked Mid-Tennessee State squad going up against the number 3 ranked North Dakota State Bison. In Mid-Tennessee State, they do not hold back any punches. It's what they're gonna have to do if they're gonna pull this upset off here at home, as Hill gonna look into the end zone, and it's gonna be an early touchdown for the Blue Raiders, as they will strike first in this one, as Mid-Tennessee State is gonna take an early 7-0 lead. And North Dakota State, they are not going to really be able to respond back, but maybe that interception will get them going, as Marvin Williams gets the first turnover here in season number 2, and it sets up the Bison in phenomenal field position as they start off in Blue Raider territory, so a chance to tie things up. But Brian Alexander trying to toss that thing into the end zone. It is going to be intercepted and picked off, as the Blue Raiders are able to take this out to the 33-yard line. So really a missed opportunity to not only not get a touchdown, but to not get away with any points on that drive as well. And not only that, but we do see one of their notable running backs, Leroy Smith, get hurt, and hurt badly as well. 10 weeks this man is going to be out with a torn shoulder muscle, so a nightmare start for the Bison as they find themselves down 10-0 at the moment, as Aaron Houston is going to be able to get a sack there as well. We'll see if the Blue Raiders can extend this lead before going into halftime, and sure enough, we are just might be able to see just that, as Kevin Hill is going to rocket in another touchdown. Beautiful job off of the play action as well. So a 17-0 lead for the Blue Raiders, but it's not all bad though, as look at that absolutely bone-crushing hit there. Boom! My man gave him the hit stick to get things started. But a huge deficit for the Bison, 17-0 early, as we get a little bit of trickery from North Dakota State. Haven't seen that before, so I wonder if we got some updated plays with the NCAA next mod. That would be really cool if that's the case. And nice job by Brian Alexander to execute. As now 3rd and long as they try to pass it once again. But Aaron Houston going to get his 3rd sack of the day. And this is quite the surprise, given what we saw in the last episode previewing this team. This offensive line is filled with All-Americans, and yet here they are, very first game of the season, playing up against an unranked football team as well. They are having an incredibly difficult time moving the football, as 4th and goal from the 9-yard line. They're actually going to go for it, as they desperately need a touchdown. Field goal is not going to really help them that much, as that is what Rod Mendez, the custom recruit at wide receiver, able to not only get his first reception of his college career, but also he's going to get his very first touchdown of his career as well. But just when you think the Bison were going to get back into this game, an untimely interception. Nice job by the defensive lineman to go ahead and really to stay committed to that football there, as he's able to take this quite the distance. As we check out this Coca-Cola replay, yeah, Wimbush just does a great job of just, keeping his hands up and staying with it. Phenomenal effort. As now 17-7 now, make that 24-7, as Kevin Hill is going to notch his 3rd passing touchdown of the afternoon. And right now, upset alert. Those bells have to be ringing. They have to be all up at 10. Is now 3rd and long for the Bison as Alexander trying to get his troops to the line, get them calmed down. Alexander dropping back, looking, gonna rifle this over to Mike Sapp, who's able to come down and make the catch that puts Brian Alexander at over 100 yards passing on the afternoon. And I would not be shocked if they kept going to him, except they're going to actually try to run the football there in a little bit of a loss. And that's unfortunate too, because he had the hole, just couldn't get there in time. As now 3rd and long, Alexander, he's facing pressure, and he is going to get lit up like a Christmas tree. And now 4th and 24. That puts him outside of field goal range as well. So nothing you can do but just go for it and hope for the best. As Alexander able to get this one off. Throws it up to Mike Sapp, who is able to go ahead and come down with the catch. As that was just a prayer thrown up into the air. And Mike Sapp's able to come down with it. So it sets up the 3rd red zone opportunity of the afternoon for the Bison, as Alexander rolls to his left, gets it out to the fullback, and sure enough, that fullback is going to find the end zone. Touchdown Bison. So for a 10-point game, and they do get the ball back, but they have to move quickly. They need a touchdown right here, right now, if they want to have a chance to pull off the incredible. Alexander dropping back, but he's gonna be sacked once again. Just a rough day for this offensive line. This was a problem in the playoffs last season, and they rear its ugly head here today as Mid-Tennessee State. You want to talk about starting season 2 with a message? How about the Blue Raiders upsetting the number 3 team in college football at your home stadium? And you know that it's a huge accomplishment when the old ball coach is going to get that water cooler treatment. Didn't even try to dodge the Gatorade bath. And North Dakota State just not only losing this game, but losing in a convincing fashion. Mid-Tennessee State, they were certainly in control for the majority of this game. We saw the Bison play better in the second half, but by then, their offense is just not built to come back, especially against a solid team like the Blue Raiders. And now we look at the other question, the main question that you saw on the thumbnail. Can Princeton finally get rid of the longest losing streak in FCS college football? They come into this game, they did not win a single game last year. They are tied with Indiana State right now with the longest losing streak in college football, while Southern Utah, not ranked inside the top 100 in terms of the FCS preseason polls, but they got some hope, man. They came in last year, finished on a 2-game winning streak. They also have a true freshman quarterback, better than their last one, Aaron Scott. So I'm excited to see how Aaron Scott handles this team against Princeton. But Kevin Parquat, though, wants to let it be known, but this is not your daddy's Tigers, as Princeton is going to hop on the scoreboard first. As a beautiful job on the play action and able to launch this thing deep downfield. So an early 7-0 lead for the Tigers, as the Southern Utah 3-and-out is going to get Princeton another chance with the football, and it's going to be another huge gain downfield. Going to set themselves up inside the 10-yard line there. As we'll take a look at this replay, as Farquhar once again getting some time in the pocket. He's looking good. This is a quarterback that was on the hot seat a little bit going into this year. They brought in DeMarco Wilson, one of the best quarterbacks in high school football, to challenge him. Farquhar retains his slot, but he's on the hot seat, and he has responded extremely well to that pressure. 5 for 6 to start things out. Almost 120 passing yards already, and of course those 2 touchdowns that are now going to give Princeton a 14-0 lead. And shout out to that offensive line for Princeton for providing more than enough time to get make sure Parquat gets some time in the pocket. Although Princeton not only known for their passing, but their running game has improved as well, as their tailback is going to take this thing to the crib, and it's going to be a 69-yard touchdown, a beautiful touchdown. Very nice. If you know, you know. As we saw this tailback break a couple of tackles as well. Very tough running, and then able to just get into the open space. So Southern Utah now down 24-3 early, as Aaron Scott will see how he handles this in his collegiate debut. Scott gets absolutely lit up like a Christmas tree as Mark Bell is able to explode off of the line of scrimmage and just pulverize this quarterback. Southern Utah got to go ahead and punt this football away, as Parquant with 1:30 left to play, able to get another huge shot down the sideline, and it's a 49-yard touchdown. Princeton with a convincing lead of their own make that 31-3. In this second quarter, they are just exploding on the scoreboard. Things were, it was like 14-0, which, great quarter, but Tigers on a different level here in the second, as Aaron Scott just trying to make anything happen, but not only does he get sacked once again, but he's going to also fumble the football. It leads to another touchdown for Princeton. So needless to say, the Tigers, they are going to notch their first win, and DeMarco Wilson does show up in the fourth quarter for mop-up duty. Princeton will start the year 1-0, while Southern Utah, not so much. So it wraps up the gameplay here for week number 1 of the second season, and how about this Sports Illustrated magazine to get things started? North Dakota State, that upset is a massive deal. So it begs the question, how far did North Dakota State fall? Well, let's go ahead. We'll check out the top 25 rankings. We are now coming in here on the coaches poll, and of course, we know that nobody played. So that's no surprise that everything for the most part is definitely the same. But North Dakota State, they still will remain in the top 25, except they fall 10 spots down to number 13 in the country. That loss to Mid-Tennessee State definitely hurt them to a degree, and now we will see them, I guess their next game is going to be on the road against Elon to see if they can go ahead and get themselves back on track, as there's still a lot of football that is left to be played, and still a lot to still be thankful for, as Mid-Tennessee State, sure enough, they will sneak in to that top 25. They are now the 25th ranked team in the country after that convincing win. They ended up kicking out University of Southern Florida, but they are the first team to receive votes, so they kind of just flip-flop spots. Youngstown State, Delaware, Texas Southern, and Western Carolina are also still in the picture as well in terms of getting into that top 25. So for the players of the week, they both were in that Princeton and Southern Utah game, and they go to two Tigers in terms of who was the NCAA Offensive Player of the Week and the Defensive Player of the Week. Starting with the offensive side of football, Kevin Parquant, which he was a guy that was on the hot seat, going 0-11 last year. They brought in a 5-star quarterback to compete with him for that starting job. He wins it in camp, but the seat was still warm. But at least it cooled off a little bit, at least for now. He looked fantastic in their game against Southern Utah, going 13 for 15, 293 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He was perfect on the day. And then on the defensive side of football, another freshman, Noah Glover, the right outside linebacker, did a little bit of everything in their performance against Southern Utah. 3 tackles, 2 of which were TFLs, by the way, a sack, and of course a defensive touchdown to go with it as well. So a great performance for Princeton, as they finally, in season number 2, they will indeed get their first win of this entire series so far. So that is going to go ahead and wrap things up here for week number 1 of this second season of the FCS Dynasty. I hope you guys enjoyed today's content, as next time out we will have a full complement of games. We will be showing 8 games in the next episode, so I hope you guys are really excited for that. If you are, I need you guys to go ahead and do me a favor real quick. Smash that like button for me. Hit that subscribe button as well if you do happen to be brand new to the channel. This is John J Gaming on the mic signing off. I'm hoping you're all out there having a good one. Take care, everybody.